we have the best fans, as you guys do, and I'd like to just go through a few viewer comments and get your take. The first one coming from Karen, and not that kind of Karen, a nice Karen, says, in my opinion, she kept quiet. We're talking about Katie here. These are all related to Katie. In my opinion, Katie kept quiet because her and her attorney believed she would be found not guilty. She 100% knows the story, and she knows all who is involved, obviously. Who cares if she lied, if she comes forward and can incriminate the whole family, which she could. Her words are gold. They are not going to give a crap if she lied. Without her, they probably would never incriminate Donna and Wendy. Fancy, what do you make of those comments?
That is, I think that this was all orchestrated to, this is just my theory, but, everything that I know and how many years I've been digesting everything and key input from people who talk to me, I think my impression is the fact that I think they've got Donna. I think they're waiting to see what happens with Charlie, whether Charlie's going to flip or when they convict, they're just, they're moving up the chain. But I think they have Donna. I think Harvey now is more interesting now. I had a lawyer tell me that they think that Harvey, they have more evidence now on Harvey or just as much as Donna because of the car, the Lexus, and because of that Matsuri tape of, having knowledge. I don't know if it's going to be of the murder, but it's definitely of having knowledge of after the fact and being complicit. So I thought that was interesting comment from a prosecutor. I think Wendy is the real one that everyone wants because it seems the most unfair. And it seems like she is the one most responsible in many people's eyes. And I will say that I think they went to her and said, Wendy, you're having all these problems. We're going to fix it for you. You've got a very strong family behind you, in quotes, because that was what Donna put in the email. And we are fighters. And I think they went and said, we're going to do this in a way it'll never come back to you. You're going to be the first looked at, the hardest scrutinized. We're going to do this to make you feel good. We're going to do this in a way it could never be traced back to you. And that's with the WhatsApp. That's why Wendy's always on WhatsApp. That's why it's, Donna and Charlie talking. And when Charlie calls and Donna goes, Charlie goes, who does this have to do with right after the bump? And Donna goes, just the two of us. It's almost like Wendy's cool. Wendy's name wasn't mentioned. That's how I took it. And based on everything else, I have all the other circumstantial evidence around it.
A big shout out to Karm, because very early on, when no one was mentioning Harvey's name, Karm was asking repeatedly about Harvey. I didn't mean to cut you off, fans. We don't do that on our show, so continue on,
We
please.
do that on our show.
LOL.
So.
Yes, you do. You're known for that, and that's why we love you. I was actually on Twitter. I broke the news about, and I put up the document about how Katie states evidence, and I also put in the notes, Katie's term states evidence, and I also put hi Wendy and a little smiley face, like she likes to sign off. Christopher DeCoste liked that tweet.
Do you worry at all, Fancy, about, I know you've been reprimanded publicly, I'm not going to say his name, but by Wendy's attorney, because I don't want to say his name. Karm would get paranoid. Karm's a Holocaust survivor. She's paranoid. But do you have any trepidation in calling out Wendy so vociferously, knowing that you've been reprimanded by her attorney?
I wasn't reprimanded. He asked to speak with me. He said, speak with me and you could comment more accurately instead of, this innuendo or whatever, defamatory innuendo. Which I always, I would be, I guess, nervous if I stated I knew something as a fact, which I never do. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to find out who knows. So, and also she's listed as she's been named as a co-conspirator in court documents and in open court. So I'm really not concerned.
Flat out question to you, if you can answer. Is it your opinion, not fact, but your opinion that Wendy eventually gets indicted and convicted of this crime?
I think we'll know in a few months. And it depends on if Katie has something that implicates her. But I don't know. I don't know if Charlie and Donna were not that disciplined, obviously. They put her on put the intermediary, the person they hired to get this done, who's now convicted and is serving a license. They put her on the family payroll and reported her Social Security to the state of Florida and the IRS. So they're not careful. There's got to be, we've seen the slips. We saw the slips from, the hitman shooting the hole, Shoderick Nobles buying cocaine off the streets of Tallahassee while they're there to do a murder. They're sloppy. I see Don and Charlie being very sloppy on the bump. So with that said, Wendy, and plus, never forget, Luis Rivera said in his proffer that Sigfredo turned to him and said, There's the lady that wants her kids back. There's Wendy. Back to back. The lady is Wendy. And they also, Tara Kwas gave us that little tip in her little post-gaggle loving the camera, after the sentencing. She said that when they got in that car trouble and Shodrick Nobles was on the stand in that first trial, he said, we should call the lady to help us with this car. We're stuck. There's someone local. And so that's a big freaking clue. So if all those things bubble up and there's some sort of tangible proof, Wendy's goner.